Hello everyone, I am Orisha Banerjee from TYPA A Division. The topic of my presentation is application of deconstruction on Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach poem. As you all are aware, deconstruction is a post-structuralist theory. It was a reaction to structuralism. Jacques Derrida was one of the most well-known 20th century French philosopher, theorist and writer. He introduced the theory of deconstruction in 1967. Therefore, he was called the father of deconstruction. Deconstruction focuses on the critical reading of a written text to uncover the ways of thinking. Deconstruction concept was developed in opposition to structuralism given by Ferdinand de Saussure, and it was officially started by Jacques Derrida, who rebutted the arguments of Saussure regarding the language. When we dealt with structuralism believed language is a very simple, planned and lucid way of communication, where the speaker can communicate his ideas and feelings as simply as he can, and it is very easily comprehended and understood by the listener. That is what Saussure believed in. But in contrast, Jacques Derrida said that language is not that simple. Rather, language is more complicated than we believe it is, and that is all about deconstruction. What deconstruction does, it brings in ambiguities in a way of life, whether it is communicated, theories, texts, or anything. Deconstruction destabilizes everything. It tries to come up with ambiguities in it. Derrida says that language is not all about structure. A word does not get meaning from the structure. Rather, it gets meaning how a listener understands a particular word or a sentence. The meaning of a word changes depending on the thoughts of a listener. Now we would be applying deconstruction on Dover Beach. As we all know, deconstruction destabilizes the meaning of the text. Destabilizing is to use scopes for various interpretations of a common idea. Literature begins with a conflict and ends up resolving the conflict. Towards the end, the conflict is resolved, that is, the general interpretation or a reading of any work. In deconstruction, we don't resolve the conflict. We let the conflict be as it is. Contradiction is the principle of deconstruction. Deconstruction aims to find evidences to destabilize the resolutions. It will try to find evidences from the text itself. In structuralism, we had sign, signifier, and signified, that is the final meaning. The final meaning of the text or word or language is reached. Deconstruction replaces signified with difference, that is, the meaning is delayed. There can be many meanings. The signifier goes on, that is, the signifier plus signifier plus signifier. There is no one interpretation in one reading of a text, word or a sentence. There are two steps for this. The first is finding the conflict of the text, that is, the basic binary opposition in a text. Evidences should come from within the text, not from outside the text, as Derrida believes nothing lies outside the text. The second step is to bring out the conflict from this work and destabilize the binary opposition or conflict. Now to find the contradiction, let us read through the full text of the poem. Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast the light gleams and is gone, the cliffs of England stand. Glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay, come to the window, sweet is night air, only from long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at the return up the high strand, begin and cease and then again begin with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound of a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once, too, at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright cardinal fold, but now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind, down the vast ages drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Now we come to step 1, finding the contradiction or tension of this poem. The one conflict or binary division here is nature versus human society, which appeared broadly in this poem. This is not a new thing Matthew Arnold would be working with. The dominant theme of the Romantics is the profound peace and serenity with nature and the experience of trouble and harshness with human society. In the first stanza, Matthew Arnold uses some important objectives with nature. First, he uses the sea is calm tonight. Calm is a good adjective. Second, the tide is full, the moon lies fair, where he refers to full moon and full tides, which is not a bad image. Therefore, the nature is absolutely normal and there is no abnormality at all, because we know the process of full tides and high tides during full moon. Third, for the setting of the poem, he uses sweet night air, that is the sweet air. All good adjectives are associated with nature, so the evidences here are sufficient to suggest the idea of nature is good in our first general reading. In contrast to nature comes the human life. The choice of words Matthew Arnold uses for human misery are in the last stanza. First, the verses hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. He is telling us we live in a world that neither has these positive adjectives of joy, love, light, certitude, peace, and help for pain, which are fixed with a negative conflict neither and nor. The negative verb nor is used 5 times in the 2 verses. Second, ignorant armies clash, and third, the words darkling plain, confused, struggle, fight, ignorant armies clash by night. He brings in the conflict, human society is not good. He asks his wife, who was accompanying him, to come to the window, because at windows she may find some peace, he may find some respite, solace, as suggested as sweet is the night air. There is some good he can find in the nature. So now we are done with the step 1 study. We have found the basic binary division that human society is full of anarchy. Nature is quite obedient, where human beings have not been able to retain the status and position of the obedience that nature has. Here we have one good privileged side, that is the nature, and one bad unprivileged side, that is the human society. Now we have to deconstruct this hierarchy. Either we have to make both good or both bad to destabilize the meaning, that is nature is not that good and human society is not that bad as what we got in our first reading. Let us try to justify that Matthew Arnold is also doubtful of what is good and what is bad. This will get done in step 2. Here we will have to see the same words from different perspectives. For nature, the first example is the sea is calm tonight, where the calm tonight is a good argument that Matthew Arnold tells his wife only in today's night the sea is calm. Other suggestion would be in other nights the sea won't be calm, which means nature cannot be innocent always, it can also be violent. The general idea that nature is calm and innocent should not be the last reading of this poem. Tonight word starts deconstructing the binary. Second example, come to the window, sweet is the night air. This dash between night and air is enough to create a doubt. The night is sweet or the air is sweet is a doubt. There are 2 propositions to it. First proposition is this night's air is sweet, other nights air are not sweet, or the day air is not sweet. And the second proposition can be Matthew Arnold's doubts that he doesn't have much faith in nature, but the binary division was nature is good and society is bad. Nature is whole is not perfect. The third example is the waves moves the pebbles, they come together and create sound. For the sound, word choice for Matthew Arnold is negative, that is roar. The nature that always gives solace and serenity is not true. It can also produce roar. other side of human society is faith that Matthew Arnold laments for its loss. He wants the restoration of faith because he thinks when there was faith the world was good. In the line, "Now I hear only retreating sound of it," in retreating roar, Matthew Arnold is doubtful. If during faith the world was good, then in Dover Beach, Matthew Arnold advocates faith, but he doesn't advocate faith in the last stanza. He doesn't say, "Our love, let's have faith." Instead, he says, "Be true." He goes towards a third thing or to a third solution. He does not go back to the faith. There is ambiguity in the mind of Arnold. He is not sure what he wants to say. He is not clear whether when the world was full of faith good or the other than that if it was good. He would have asked for the restoration of it, looked for something else and find solace in somewhere else. Now the binary division is over, brought nature and human society almost in parallel. In both we can find positive side and negative side. So now we have got so many interpretations. Therefore we can say deliberately obscure and insistent of different meaning in deconstruction often creates chaos over meaning and also threatens the stability of academic effort, which is a limitation of this deconstruction theory. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.